All right. Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy Fitzmo TV here, aka G Lauren 33, and I'm back here tonight with your WWE Smackdown live review and results for July 23rd, 2019. All right, I know some of you guys have been asking questions. I've been changing, well, not changing up the setup. I've just been recording in different places as of late because I have a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes at my personal life. Just know these changes that are being made are going to be big changes and positive changes for the future for me and for this channel. So in a couple weeks I'm going to have a huge update video on everything going on with the Fismal TV channel because some changes will be made, but these are good changes, all right. But we're here talking about SmackDown Live, and SmackDown Live tonight. If you guys saw the title, it was actually a decent show, and I can't really remember when was the last time SmackDown Live had a. Well, last week's show in Worcester wasn't that bad, but this was actually a pretty good episode of SmackDown Live. Yes, there were things that were terrible. Yes, there are things that I'll have to go on like mini rants about. Of course, it wasn't anywhere close to a perfect show, but it was definitely better of what we've been given in the last couple weeks. And honestly, SmackDown Live is doing a way better job of building towards SummerSlam than Monday Night Raw is. I can definitely say that with the honest truth. I am way more, I would say, invested in what SmackDown Live is producing going to SummerSlam than the Monday Night Raw side of things. I also believe tonight was Eric Bischoff's first official show with SmackDown Live. I don't think he's the head of creative. I guess there was some rumors going um everywhere about that, but he's not the head of creative for SmackDown, at least not right now. He's working more behind the scenes, with other factors of the show. I don't know if, he gave his opinion on how tonight's show should have been ran, but if he did, I can definitely see it. All right. Some of the stuff that we saw tonight, was not really stuff that you expect from, a I'm talking more about like Vince McMahon because we all have a pretty good idea of what or how Vince McMahon shows are booked. All right, but I didn't really get that vibe tonight. All right, and it was actually kind of good to see, and I appreciate it. All right, so if it was Eric Bischoff or if this was member of possibly Eric Bischoff's staff, because honestly I just don't think Vince McMahon booked this show, even though Vince McMahon is still the head honcho of WWE, but I really don't think he booked tonight's show. Yes, tonight's show wasn't perfect, and yes, you could definitely see things of where Vince McMahon definitely probably you could say Vince McMahon definitely made that decision for tonight's show. But either way, it was not a bad show, not a bad show at all. We're gonna go through the show really quickly. This usually the SmackDown Live reviews are not as long as the Raw reviews, just for the fact is SmackDown Live is a 2-hour show. You know, and Monday Night Raw, there's always much more segments. SmackDown Live, it's the perfect. I'm not gonna say the perfect show, but in terms of runtime, yes, it's 2 hours. You can handle that. 3 hours is just too much, and we've been dealing with that. I remember when did Raw upgrade to 3 hours? I believe it was in the beginning of 2013, all right, or 2012. Raw 1000, I believe. So it's been nearly about 7 years now that Raw's been at 3 hours, which is which is pretty crazy when you actually think about it. That Raw's been at 3 hours for this long. But we're gonna go through tonight's show really quickly. I have some very interesting takes. SummerSlam is actually starting to take shape, even though I'm not super excited for SummerSlam. There are things that I am excited about, which we'll probably touch base about in this show. And WWE, it looks like they could be teasing the return of Sasha Banks. All right, yes, it looked like after Sasha, did come back to face Becky for the Raw Women's title, or Sasha's not coming back to face Bayley. There's still a chance that Sasha may be on SummerSlam, and they teased that tonight. And I've been thinking actually about this since last week, and it looks like WWE might actually be going in the direction that I'm thinking. All right, I'll give you guys my thoughts when we get to that part of the show. But Bleacher Report hasn't posted the um the full review, the full results yet. They'll probably post it in a couple of minutes, but I'm gonna go off the top of my head. Basically, the show started off with Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon starts off SmackDown Live almost every week. I hate it, but it is. It's whatever. It's kind of like what Kurt Angle used to do when he was GM when Monday Raw. He would be basically start off the show each and every night. So Shane McMahon comes on and he basically addresses Kevin Owens. First of all, Shane McMahon talks about the whole Raw reunion and everything that happened with that situation. And he was like, "Oh, it's good to see the legends." Which we'll talk a little bit more about the Raw reunion. Just and before we go any further, if you guys haven't seen my Raw reunion review from last night, go check it out on the channel. It's actually doing pretty well right now. So hope you guys enjoy that. If you guys haven't checked it out, make sure to go check out the Raw reunion review after this video. But Shane McMahon was talking about the legends and all that, of course, and it was pretty interesting. Um, thank you, bro. Um, I I am Gage. That's your name. All right, but thank you for being subscribed, bro. I really appreciate that. Welcome to the fam. But back to talking about SmackDown Live. Um, Shane McMahon is talking about all the legends, right? All the legends. And he also talked about how it was good to see some of the legend mix it up with some of the other talent, which is the present day talent, which a lot of people had very very strong opinions about that. And Shane also then said on one person I was happy not to see at the Raw reunion was one Kevin Owens, who has been very vocal on social media, which is true. That's the way Kevin Owens always is. But basically the just to cut make things quick as possible. Um, he basically said, you know, he challenged Kevin Owens to a match at SummerSlam, and I guess I don't know if this is an official stipulation, but they kept saying this throughout the night. What if supposedly if Kevin Owens loses to Shane McMahon. And I actually like this because they brought up the fact that this is not the first time. This is not the first time that Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon have faced each other. All right, they faced each other I think two or three times before that. I remember they faced at Hell in a Cell, I believe 2017, if I'm right. They faced off at last year's WrestleMania in that mixed tag team match when it was Owens and Zayn going up against Bryan when Bryan was having his first official match back from injury, and Shane McMahon when Shane was still a babyface. What up, Freddie? Um, welcome. But uh, I don't know why you're typing like that, bro. Are you saying I like? What do you mean? What Freddie, subscribe to the channel and join the fam. Anyway, but Shane's saying basically, and I like this. I like when WWE brings up past history. I like when WWE makes sense of things. All right, Shane brought up how he's defeated Kevin Owens in the past multiple occasions, and basically this time will be no different. And he said, actually, if you remember last year, Kevin Owens quit. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn actually quit SmackDown Live after losing that match. And Shane McMahon brought that up, and I actually enjoyed that. And Shane McMahon basically said the same thing will be no different here. But if Kevin Owens loses this time, I want it in writing. So, like, basically, like an official, like, signed document. So that he quits and he won't be able to come back. That's basically what Shane meant. And I don't know if this is an official stipulation. It'll probably be, Kevin Owens quit. Kevin Owens loses, he must quit SmackDown Live or WWE or whatever. I don't think Kevin Owens is gonna lose at SummerSlam because that would be dumb, especially with all the momentum he's gaining as a babyface. But I'll say that for the preview and prediction show. But when you look at it in those regards, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. WWE bring back past history, and it actually makes the storyline be more logical, which is one of the things I hate about WWE. They're not logical enough. Um, oh, so you want me to say your whole name? Wait. Is it paddle pat? Wait, no, paddle pat. Here we go. Is it paddle all re flawlessly? I think that's your name. Let me know if I said that right in the comment section. All right. So paddle patat all re flawlessly. All right. I think that's the way you say it, bro. Um. But yeah, make sure you guys interact with me in the live chat. I like interacting with you guys during the reviews. But back to where was I? Yes. I like when WWE makes sense of things because it actually makes the show more enjoyable and makes it more easy to actually watch. All right, makes the storyline make more sense and it makes it easier for you to get invested into the product in a way. And I enjoyed this, segment because it actually made sense. Then Kevin Owens, and you will always call me by that, and I am subscribed. Yeah, paddle paddle all read flawlessly. I got you, bro. All right, welcome to the fam. But it actually made sense. Made sense with everything going on. Kevin Owens then came out and basically said, "I accept your challenge for SummerSlam. I will beat you. Yada yada this, yada yada that." And then Shane kept talking, and then Kevin Owens comes down to the ring, and he's like, "We don't have to wait for SummerSlam. I'll beat your ass right now." And Kevin Owens comes down to the ring, but Shane's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And, plays the typical heel power move and says, if you want your match at SummerSlam, you won't take one more step further. But since you're all fired up, we'll put you in action tonight. And basically, they booked for the main event Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns. And I didn't really care because I knew they weren't actually going to really have a match. All right. Two baby faces. I really did think they were going to have a match. I basically knew what they were going to set up. Basically, what happened afterwards is Shane McMahon goes backstage, and of course, he has his goons, Drew McIntyre and Elias, and basically what they set up is, you know, Drew McIntyre is like the ring enforcer. I thought that's what he was going to be his role, but instead they give him the guest timekeeper, and then they had Drew McIntyre as a special guest referee. And you could already tell anybody that knows WWE knows what they're gonna do there. All right. But getting into the actual show, we actually then had Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura comes out, new Intercontinental Champion, and I thought based on what happened last week, if you guys remember, actually Shinsuke has a pretty decent crop of challengers for the IC title, especially as a heel. Right now, I guess they're not rushing to do the rematch with Finn Balor because Finn Balor he's clearly going to face Bray Wyatt at SummerSlam. And last week they also teased, Mustafa Ali challenging for the IC title. I don't know when they plan to do that, but that's probably going to happen sometime down the line. They also teased Nakamura versus Apollo Crews, and actually Shinsuke Nakamura and Apollo Crews had a match tonight. I don't know if Apollo Crews is starting to get a little bit of a push, because of what Kevin Owens said. Because there were reports that what Kevin Owens said a couple weeks ago when he had that absolute pipe bomb of a promo, one of the best promos all year. That basically when he mentioned Apollo Crews is one of the people that's overlooked backstage, never gets TV time, thanks to Shane McMahon, et cetera, et cetera. We've been seeing a lot more of Apollo Crews lately, and I don't mind it. Apollo Crews a couple years ago, a lot of people thought Apollo Crews should be back in NXT. I was one of those guys, not because Apollo Crews doesn't have talent, it's because he wasn't being used. Remember when he was just being used with Dana Brooke and Titus O'Neil in that Titus Worldwide bullcrap? He was not being used at all. I like the way Apollo Crews is being booked now. I didn't agree with Apollo Crews beating Andrade last week, but it's whatever. Also, if you guys saw NXT this past week, Apollo Crews had a really good match with Kudashita. All right, even though he lost that match, Cruz looked really good. It was an excellent match, and it really showcased his talent. If Apollo Cruz was booked more like that champion, he could definitely be a good United States Intercontinental Champion, in my opinion. All right, but it's up to WWE, and it's good to see he's actually being used a little bit. You know, and one other thing I forgot to mention: Corey Graves and Byron Jackson. I don't know if they were like given the week off or on vacation. I don't know. I don't. It doesn't really matter. But you had the New Day were the special guest commentators for most of the evening. It was also later. I think they came and got replaced by Michael Cole. So maybe those two are on vacation. I don't know. But I enjoyed it. It was good because I love the New Day. Anybody that knows me knows how much I love the New Day. But it was like a breath of fresh air in a way. It really felt like a nice breath of fresh air to see new people on commentary. And the New Day, they bring energy to it. And the way they reacted, they sounded like fans commentating tonight alongside Tom Phillips. And I actually enjoyed it. I would love to see the New Day be special guest commentators more. Even though you probably should be building the New Day up for SummerSlam, defending whoever they're gonna defend those SmackDown Live Tag Team titles. I don't know who they're gonna defend those SmackDown Tag Team titles up against at SummerSlam, I can't really think of any teams off the top of my head, but we'll have to wait and see. You know, you could bring Gallows and Anderson over from Raw since you have this whole wild card rule. If you want to do that, do that. All right, do that. Um, for all right, I don't know what's with somebody. Hello, who is your favorite women's wrestler? Mine's is Sasha. Mine's is Sasha Banks, bro. Mine's is Sasha Banks. Got my Sasha poster over there signed. I love Sasha. Love everything about her. And we'll actually talk about Sasha a little bit more throughout, a little bit later in the review if you want to stay, bro. Hey, if you want to subscribe to the channel. But back to what we were talking about with the whole we were talking about Paulo Cruz, but I enjoyed the New Day on commentary tonight. That was actually a breath of fresh air. And then talking about the whole thing with Apollo Cruz and Shinsuke Nakamura, these two were actually given a good amount of time. They were actually given a really good amount of time tonight. And that's the shows when you let your performers have time to actual wrestle, to tell stories, to perform, they can give you good results. Shinsuke versus Paul Cruz was a really good match tonight. Shinsuke Nakamura won the match with the Kinshasa, but it was an enjoyable match. It was back and forth. I loved how the New Day were reacting on commentary, like not yet, not yet. That's not enough to beat him. Like I enjoyed the match. They were reacting the same way I would react at home. All right. I actually really enjoyed this match. I don't know if they're setting up Apollo Cruz to be the they're setting up Apollo Cruz to be the next IC champion. I don't know what they have planned on SummerSlam, but hey, it is what it is. Um the real ESJ bro. Hey man, what up? I haven't seen you in a while. But yes, phase 4 confirmed. I did a couple videos on that if you haven't seen that, bro. So go check that out. But we are talking SmackDown Live tonight. We'll talk Marvel a little bit later. But back to the show. Paul Cruz since he had a really good match tonight. I don't know what I always forget to call you Junior, all right? But um back to what I was saying. I don't know what they had planned for Shinsuke at SummerSlam. If they haven't planned to defend the title at all, but still, it was a good match tonight. Really good. See you, Junior. But back to what I was talking about. You hopefully they're actually building up this this intercontinental championship division. They have mid card superstars, and there's probably way more that they're just not coming off the top of my head right now. So hey, but legit, I actually really enjoyed what they were doing tonight. They also did a backstage segment earlier. Excuse me, but they actually did a let me think. Let me think. Yeah, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. They're backstage, and they did a what up? They did a backstage segment with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, and basically the whole thing was Mandy saying, "Bro, I'm not. I don't agree with you. WWE's not the best it's ever been right now. They have the most talent it's ever had, but in terms of storytelling and overall product, no, nowhere close. Hopefully, they get there one day. All right. Hopefully, they'll get there one day with some um, better talent, better booking. You guys know what I mean when I talk about that. But Sonya and Mandy are backstage, and basically comes up, or Sonya's sitting down, and Mandy comes up saying something about the Iconics. I don't remember what, something involving Kevin Owens and the Iconics, something that happened in the past. And basically, Shane rewarded Mandy with giving Mandy and Sonya a WWE Women's Tag Team Championship opportunity next week on SmackDown Live. All right. I want those titles off of the Iconics so badly because the Women's Tag Team Championships have been made useless ever since the Iconics won those championships from Sasha and Bailey at WrestleMania. All right. I don't know what they have planned for it because I thought they were gonna do Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kubaki Warriors. I thought they were gonna have them win those titles at SummerSlam, especially since they didn't win them last week. But I don't know. Maybe WWE's playing like a triple threat with Sonya and Mandy going up against the Iconics and Sonya and Mandy. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. I agree with you, bro. The Iconics should never won those titles. But it is what it is. I don't really care about the women's tag team division just because WWE doesn't put enough stock into it. But next up, we had we had Kofi Kingston announce his challenger for SummerSlam. And if anybody watched SmackDown Live last week, you pretty much knew where this was going. All right, you had Kofi Kingston come out and basically he said, "I hope the man." I actually liked how they actually booked that. He said, "I hope the man that answers my challenge, or I hope the man that I make my challenge to accepts it before he attacks me from behind." All right. What do you mean? Are you my neighbor? I don't know. I don't know if you're my neighbor. All right. Um. Yeah. Yeah. My neighbor is. All right. That's what up. But. But back to what we were talking about. You know. That's a little. That's a little weird. But the chat's really active tonight. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. With the whole thing going on with the I'm losing my train. Kofi Kingston, Randy Orton. Kofi said, "I'm gonna make my challenge before I'm gonna make my challenge before he tries to attack me from behind out of nowhere." But Kofi makes a challenge. The challenge is to Randy Orton. All right, and you guys saw last week Randy did RKO and he pinned Kofi in tag team action. Basically, there was no really other direction to go. You know, Randy pinned Kofi last week. He basically has the biggest claim to the WWE Championship right now as number one contender. But Randy Orton came out, and I really enjoyed this promo because WWE once again, like they did earlier with Shane and Kevin Owens, they brought up past history. They made stuff logical. All right. Kofi brought up back in 2009. I remember I was just a little kid back then. Kofi brought up the whole thing going on with the whole thing going on when Kofi actually feuded with Randy Orton. I remember that's how I became a big Kofi Kingston fan. Because that was back when Randy Orton was really like at the top of his game as he handcuffed Stephanie McMahon, and I think it was July. Kofi and Randy are brawling in MSG. I remember Kofi had a ruthless attack. He did like the boom job from the stand. That escalating into the main event, but he didn't, and we all know what happened. One of the things is during that six-man tag team match when Kofi messed up, took too long. Randy was waiting to hit him with the RKO, and we all know the famous line when Randy goes like "stupid, stupid, stupid." All right, sorry. But back to what I said. Uh, we're back to the thingy. That's basically what halted Kofi's main roster run. All right. Yes, he won a bunch of United States titles, IC titles, tag team titles, but he was never able to get into the WWE Championship scene. And a lot of people look at that moment as one of the biggest reasons why. And Kofi actually mentioned tonight, that he felt the same thing. He felt like that moment was one of the reasons why it took him 11 years to finally become WWE champion to get into the main event. And Randy said, "Yes, I used my influence to hold you back because back then you weren't ready, and you're still not ready yet." All right. Um, but back to what we were saying, you look at it, and you could say a lot of it's actually true. A lot of this is actually true. Kofi probably wasn't ready back then. I don't think it should have took Kofi 11 years to get into the main event scene, you know. But definitely those experiences back then. Remember, Kofi had only been in the company for 1 or 2 years. I don't think he was ready yet. All right. As much as I love Kofi Kingston, as much as he's one of my favorites of all time, he wasn't ready yet. But now he's been ready. It should not took him 11 years. Maybe it should have took him 4 or 5. at the most, right? At the most. But Randy Orton said, "Yes, I used my influence to hold you back. You weren't ready back then, and you're not ready now." And I love this next part. Remember, Kofi Kingston would have never been in the match at Elimination Chamber. Kofi would have never faced Daniel Bryan at Mania if it wasn't for Mustafa Ali who got injured. And then Randy Orton, remember Mustafa Ali had that nasty eye injury. Because remember he suffered that in a SmackDown Live match against Randy Orton. All right, that's where all this actually started. So the only reason, Randy says the only reason why you won the WWE Championship um is because um is because Orton injured Mustafa Ali. That's actually factual. No matter like it or not, that's the way it is. All right, that's the way it is. And what ironic, how ironic it would actually be. And what up? I don't know how to say your name. Munina underscore Banks underscore Fire Millie. I don't know if I said your name correctly, but how ironic would it actually be if that's how Kofi's reign as champ actually ends. All right, thank you. I really appreciate it, man. Thanks for all this love and support. But that would actually be, be actually true. It'd actually be ironic. Randy, indirectly caused Kofi to become WWE champion by, injuring Ali. There's no guarantee that Ali would have won the WWE championship at Mania. Ali, I don't even think he was slated to face Bryan at Mania. I don't think that was ever in the cards. Yes, we got the better story, we got the better moment with Kofi, but who would have Brian, who would have known? Maybe Brian would still be WWE champion right now if it wasn't for Randy Orton injuring Ali. Who knows? We have no idea how that all would have went down. But it would be ironic if Orton indirectly caused Kofi to become WWE champion from the Slam. I don't know where they're gonna. Don't worry, bro. We're gonna talk about Sasha in just a little bit. But you know, it would be ironic because you look at everything that happened with Kofi and Randy. They have a lot of history. All right, and especially now, which we are less than we're about 2 months away from WWE making the Hughes move over this Fox. WWE might put the title on Randy Hughes' name going into this move with Fox. So maybe that's why Randy is going. I don't mind it because Kofi's been a decent. He's actually been a really good WWE champion. Not gonna lie, but maybe they want the title on Orton. Orton's one of your biggest names in the company. It would make sense. Either way, I'm gonna enjoy the feud for what it is. I won't be mad at if it's Randy or Kofi. All right, that's just my opinion on that. But I really enjoyed this segment tonight. It actually made sense. And actually, afterwards, Orton walks away. He says, you're gonna lose that WWE title courtesy of the three most dangerous letters in all sports entertainment, RKO. He walks away. Then Samoa Joe comes out. Samoa Joe, he's basically like Drew McIntyre at this point. Samoa Joe is that WWE heel that can be booked against anybody, but will probably never get pushed to the top like they should be. Cause Drew McIntyre still has hope, but I've lost almost all hope that Samoa Joe will ever be that main event champion that we all know he can be. Just because WWE just won't make the decision to do that. All right. I don't know why your name is Fitzbunk Jr., bro, and that's a little bit creepy. Not gonna lie. But back to what I was talking about. Um, they had the match Mojo versus Kofi Kingston. The match actually ends in disqualification when Randy Orton tries to RKO Kofi. Kofi's like, no, I'm not gonna let that happen. That's the way that segment ended. So moving on. Next up, we had the we had oh yeah we had this was actually probably the best segment of the entire night. We had Miz TV with Shawn Michaels on the heels of what happened with the whole Raw reunion last night. They decided to keep it going. Junior, I don't know, man. I guess there's someone called Fitzbook Junior now. You know, I don't know. I'm not gonna entertain it. Not gonna entertain it. But don't worry. If you didn't watch Raw or SmackDown this week, you can get the information you need just by watching my reviews. But back to what I was talking about. we're getting interrupted a lot tonight, but I don't mind. I love talking to you guys in the comment section and the live chat. But no, little fettuccine 69. We won't be getting Styles versus Michael at SummerSlam. No, no way. As even though that's a dream match, we're not getting that. Don't worry, we're gonna talk about Sasha Banks in just a second. Right? Let's get through this. But we're talking about Ms. TV, and with everything going on with the Raw reunion, they decided to bring Sean over the SmackDown Live, to be on Ms. TV, and I actually enjoyed this segment. Really enjoyed it. Sean talked about being with the legends, and how good a time it actually was. Um, but out of nowhere they're just talking, and Dolph Ziggler comes out, and at first I was like, oh, here we go again. Dolph Ziggler, same thing as always, same thing as always, same thing as always. It should have been me, it should have been me, it should have been me. But for once, it actually made sense. All right, the whole thing with Ziggler's speech tonight, he's like, you know, is it really glitch? I don't think it's glitch. You guys can see me, right? Oh, good. Set your glitchy. All right, now it's starting to glitch out. But the whole thing that they were teasing tonight with the whole Charlotte, not the Charlotte. My head's all over the place tonight. But the whole thing they were teasing tonight with you know, the Miss TV segment is, I don't know. I don't think they're teasing Dolph Ziggler versus Shawn Michaels at SummerSlam. I don't think Shawn is coming back for a SummerSlam match, and I don't think he should. But what they were basically the way they were trying to set up is, it looks like maybe they're setting up Miz versus Ziggler at SummerSlam. All right, I don't know. I don't really care that much, even though I really enjoyed this segment. All right, because Ziggler called out Shawn Michaels, and a lot of people have called. You gotta calm down. You gotta calm down. The comment section acting very, very weird today. Um, but but he has to make me lose my train of thought. I can't even focus on the review. But Ziggler's been called a second rate Shawn Michaels for years. All right, we all know how good Dolph Ziggler is in the ring. All right, he is one of the best performers in the ring. He's just never been booked correctly, and that is one of the reasons why a lot of people don't take Ziggler that serious in the ring. All right, that's just facts. But what he said today was absolutely true. All right, he said a lot tonight. All these legends coming back for nostalgia. He said, seeing Shawn Michaels come back, it disappoints me and it makes me sick. He said, when Shawn returned at, I think, was it Crown Jewel last year, to reunite with Triple H against the Undertaker and Kane, it made a lot of sense how bad it was. Because yes, Shawn Michaels, as great as he's been, as great as he always will be, he legit came. It's like he came back for the money. There's no need for him to come back. No need, because the matches we saw at Crown Jewel, Goldberg versus Taker at Super Showdown, almost every time the Undertaker comes back, it's disappointing. It's disappointing because it hurts. Because yes, casual fans will accept this nonsense because they don't realize how good Shawn and Taker and Triple H all were in their prime. All right, it's just the fact that seeing these legends perform, that's good for them. When long term fans like me and other people that have been watching WWE for years, when every time we see people like Shawn and Taker and Triple H come back for another match, we're like, oh my gosh, just retire already, because they don't have it. They're old. They're human. They don't have the same skill. They don't have the same bodies. They don't have the same ability. That why they keep coming back. They don't. I don't think they need the money. These legends are still getting paid today, just based off of merchandise sales and other factors. Like I don't get it. I don't get it. So what Ziggler was saying was absolute true. I don't know if it was scripted or not. There's like a bit of unscriptedness with Ziggler's promo, but then Shawn fires back on the microphone, and he's like, you know what makes me sick? Working your entire ass off to become somebody in this ring, but not for being known, not for nothing else but being a second rate Shawn Michaels. And that's what Ziggler is at the end of the day. All right? He's not going to be known as Dolph Ziggler. His generation known as Shawn Michaels, just without the wins. That's basically how he's gonna be remembered. And you can blame part of that on Ziggler, but a lot of this on WWE management, and it is what it is. And Miz then came back. Ziggler started talking again. And then Miz fired back like, I'm so sick and tired of hearing you say all this nonsense. Oh, it should have been you. It should have been you. Yes, it should have been you. But because of the way you act, it will never be you. All right. And I actually love the way Miz was on the microphone. This is the Miz we need to get more and more often. All right. Because Miz has been ridiculed to just doing Miz TV each and every week. All right. Give me this. Basically, they take off their jackets, teasing like they're going to fight one another. And basically, I don't remember who to. Then Sean hit Ziggler, goes to check on Miz. He gets hit with a super kick. Are you okay? Yeah. It feels a little weird, bro. Junior, I'm not gonna lie, it feels a little bit weird. This review feels very weird tonight. But back to what I was saying. I don't know what they're teasing here, what they have planned with this whole Miz and Ziggler thing. I want to get behind it, but I'll remember in 2016 when those two probably had feud of the year. Will the Miz ever get a World Heavyweight Championship run? Probably, yeah, Junior. I think it's because of the chat. The chat's actually pretty weird tonight. Not gonna lie to you, bro. But will the Miz ever get a World Heavyweight Championship run again or a Universal Championship run? Probably not. The best Miz can probably get is maybe Miz turn heel. Maybe one day he use. But I really am. We're lagging again. Great. We're lagging again. Perfect. But I enjoyed the segment a lot tonight. I just don't know where they plan to go with it. We'll have to wait and see. All right, we'll just have to wait and see. But we're moving on to the women's division, and we had a match tonight: Charlotte versus Ember Moon. A match I can actually get behind. Charlotte versus Ember Moon. All right. I love Ember Moon. I hope she wins the SmackDown Women's title at SummerSlam. I'm actually, pulling for the beat Bailey for the SmackDown Women's title. But I do have something I gotta rant about. What's with all these 30-second women's matches lately? Tell me, what's with all these 30-second women's matches lately? Like last week with Asuka versus and Kyrie versus the Iconics. WWE, it's like into building up the women's evolution. Um, bro, we're not doing that. But you know, um, maybe at the end of the review, if you remind me. I keep losing my train of thought. It's like everything that the WWE. I keep losing my train of thought. It's like the women's race, and every single week they don't do wrestling during commercials, right? So definitely they're only doing actual wrestling doing right now, man. Well, what they're doing right now, you want the women to be on par with the men, but yet you don't want to give them the time to actually be on par with the men. If that's actually making sense, the women's revolution sent fresh feuds for someone like Charlotte to WWE, who's faced almost everybody. All right, that's a feud I can actually get behind. Charlotte versus Ember. That's a title feud right there. Down the line, if you want to do Ember versus Charlotte for a SmackDown Women's title, that's something I can get behind. Oh, are you talking about me and Anthony? Anthony doesn't really watch WWE anymore. All right, Anthony does not. Um, let me see. I'm actually texting my bro Anthony right now. All right. I just texted him. If he responds, I'll let you guys know. But back to what I was saying. You know, Charlotte versus Ember in no world should be going 60 seconds. Oh no, it should not be. And you're hurting your women's division. You're hurting your superstars. That's a fresh feud, something I could definitely get behind. And you're just telling me that you don't really care. All right. After the match, though, I believe Ember won with a roll up. And I remember after the match, though, she delivered an eclipse to Charlotte and an eclipse to Bayley. Sending a statement to basically everyone on the SmackDown Women's roster that she's coming for the SmackDown Women's title at um at SummerSlam. And actually backstage, Charlotte had an interview with, I believe it was Charlie Caruso. I don't remember who it was, but she basically said that in no world that she should be off the SummerSlam card. All right, no world should she be off the SummerSlam card, and she basically said, "I will be at SummerSlam. I will have a match. All right, I don't know who it'll be against, but it'll definitely be against someone better than Ember Moon." And then now you think about it, there's not many people on the women's division that are on Charlotte's level or on Ember's level. All right. So now this gets you to thinking, what could they have planned for Charlotte at SummerSlam? Who on the women's division could be greater than Ember Moon? All right. In terms of in WWE's eyes, Bayley has her match. Ember has her match. Asuka, is in a tag team. All right. If Asuka's going to be on SummerSlam, she'll be going up against the Iconics if they even book that match, which I doubt. So there's only one way I can actually see this going. Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks. All right. And I was actually thinking about Sasha back, not bringing Sasha back to the women's title. So what else? If you're gonna have Charlotte, right? And if that's what's booked, if Sasha ends up coming back at you know at at SummerSlam, it's going to be against Charlotte. And if you see that match, you guys heard it from me first. I tweeted this out. I've been thinking about this since last week. I was like, there's no way you're not going to have Charlotte. Someone WWE looks as, and someone that WWE has built up as one of the greatest women superstars of all time, if not the greatest. There's no way you're not going to have Charlotte on the SummerSlam card. There's no way. All right. So I was like, who could Charlotte definitely face that you would actually care about? Sasha Banks. We've been hearing all summer, and I'm probably gonna do a video on it all summer that Sasha, was gonna come back. Summer's ending soon. Why wouldn't Sasha want to be on the SummerSlam card? And Charlotte doesn't have a match. Sasha versus Charlotte have history. They faced each other for the Raw Women's title at SummerSlam a couple years ago. You want to make a statement? Have Sasha come back, have Sasha beat Charlotte, and let that elevate her to either the SmackDown or the Raw Women's Championship. All right, I wouldn't mind seeing Sasha versus Bayley, but even though I really want to see Sasha versus Becky going to the fall, that's a feud that can carry you throughout the entire rest of the year. All right, but that's the way I would book it, because the way I look at it, there's really nobody else, nobody else. Yes, Patapot or Flowersy, my social media is in the description. But there is no other way. I don't see who else on the roster can you book for Charlotte to face at SummerSlam in a match that people will actually care about. This is what I would do. You have Charlotte Flair come out. Honestly, if you want to do it to open the show, if you want to get the show rolling on a big way, and you want to make the woman look important, have Charlotte Flair come out, grab a microphone, be like, "Who's gonna face me? All right, who's gonna face me?" The SmackDown Women's title that would make her a Grand Slam Women's Champion. But have Charlotte come out, have her grab the microphone, say who's gonna face the Queen, who's worthy enough to face me. Have people wait, have Sasha Banks return, so get a monster pop. And then those two, they've had great matches in the past, some of the best women's matches of all time, actually. Have those two face each other, and then at the end of the day, Sasha gets the victory. It's a great way to start the show. It's a great way for WWE to tell Sasha welcome back and let this elevate Sasha back into the women's championship scenario. Because the women's division needs Sasha more than ever right now. It desperately needs Sasha. All right. If it's somebody like an Alexa Bliss or Nikki Cross, no, I'm not gonna care. I'm not gonna watch the match. All right. If you really want to make you show in the best way possible, that's the way you do it. I'm gonna do another video later this week on that, but that's the way I would. And actually, no. I'm sorry. I almost forgot. We gotta talk about Bray Wyatt. we got to talk about Bray Wyatt. So Finn Balor came out tonight, and he didn't mention the IC title, but he did mention how Bray Wyatt attacked him last week, and then how Bray Wyatt attacked you know um McFoley, and how they both have history. He doesn't know what's going on with this whole this new Bray Wyatt. Basically felt like, all right, Bray Wyatt has his normal side, and then he has his fiend, his evil side. But I love the way he was talking about this whole split personality, and basically, you had like the kids clapping in the background, the whole sound effects and everything. I loved it. I loved the person. He said the Fiend accepts your challenge for SummerSlam. I love it. He was like, "Be careful what you ask for," etc., etc., etc. And I really love this segment. All right, because it's making me more invested in Bray's character. I don't know next week. I don't think Finn mentioned anything about having the Demon appear at SummerSlam. We'll have to wait and see if that's the direction they're gonna go. But I won't mind it. I would love to see the Demon versus the Fiend. And remember, what I'm gonna keep saying this: Bray Wyatt cannot lose. You cannot lose. He needs to be booked undefeated for a very, very long time. All right, very, very long time. All right, he should be booked all the way up, in my opinion, probably till Mania. He wins the. That's the way they should do it. All right, but getting into the main event, we're gonna get out of here. Kevin Owens going up against Roman Reigns. This match really never got underway. Basically, as the match started, KO attacked Drew McIntyre, then they attacked Elias, and they attacked Shane McMahon. All right. Bro, I don't know you how. I can't really say your name. That's like 1,000 different letters. All right. And it would sound really weird. So, bro, I'm sorry. I can't really say your name. But basically, I didn't really care for this because we already know where this is going. This is definitely going to lead to KO teaming up with Roman next week, probably the face Elias and Drew. All right. And basically, I didn't like how SmackDown Live ended. You had KO, afterwards, after they, beat Shane Man, they beat up Drew and they beat up Elias. KO said, if you liked what you saw tonight, wait till SummerSlam because I will not lose and I'm going to kick your ass. All right. I'm gonna kick Shane's ass. All right. So maybe we've been hearing rumors of, Shane Man being brought away from television. I don't know. Maybe this is what they're gonna play. They're planning. Maybe they're gonna have Kevin Owens beat Shane McMahon bad enough um that this will send him away. We'll have to say that. What up, Junior? All right, we're about to end the review here in a couple minutes. But I didn't really care for the end of SmackDown, but I'm not gonna let that put a damper. This was actually a decent show for what it was. All right, they actually built towards SummerSlam, setting up Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor, setting up Orton versus Kofi for the WWE title. Continuing the build for Owens versus Shane. I still have no idea what Roman has planned. They'll probably do Roman versus Drew McIntyre again just for the hell of it. They and I'll give them credit. They're building towards Ember and Bailey. Teasing potentially Charlotte coming back. Call me Junior, man. I don't know. You're creeping me out. I don't know. I don't know why you just randomly said that. But um, yeah. Basically, with SmackDown Live, this was a decent show tonight. This was a decent show. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I can see this is the most active the comment section or the live chat has been in a long time. And I love talking to you guys in the comment section, even though it was a little bit weird, but it is what it is. Um, but I'm gonna get out of here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, enable notifications by clicking the bell next to my name, Fitzmo TV. So, you know, I remember what I gotta do. Don't worry. Make sure this, you guys are messing up the outro. You guys are messing up the outro. Let me finish the outro, all right? But thank you guys for coming to the review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Usually the comment section is not this active, but I love talking to you guys in the comments section. All right, so make sure to stay active. Also make sure to enable notifications by clicking the bell next to my name if it's on TV, so you guys are notified every time I post a new video. If you guys haven't checked out my Monday Night Raw review, yet, that is live on the channel. Make sure to go check that out. Um, I'll probably be back. I'm probably gonna do a video later this week on the whole sausage mix situation. I love to keep you guys updated about that. But I do have a challenge before I leave. I'm gonna say your name 5 times. So I'm gonna do it. Make sure you keep count. I'll count by fingers. So let me say, paddle pop paddle or fallacy, paddle pop or no, paddle top. No, 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 no. Let me start over. Let me start over. All right, paddle paddle. Let me see. Is that a T? That's a T. All right. Paddle pat tot or fallacy. Paddle pot. Um, I got this. Paddle. No, no, no. Paddle pat tot. No. Paddle pat tot or fallacy. Paddle pat tot or fallacy. All right, whatever. Who cares? All right, we're not gonna. We're just having a little bit of fun here. It's whatever. But paddle patat, whatever your name is, paddle. No, see, no. Now I just want to say for the hell of it. All right. But the review is basically already over. But paddle patat or reach fallacy. Paddle paddle pot. No. Paddle patat or reach fallacy. 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 Alright, I don't know. The stuff I do for you guys, man. You guys are weird. But I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the review once again. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day, guys. Peace.